So just a random thought, India built its own, like payment rail called as RuPay back in, probably around 2010 to 2015 around. And so the network really, is in a way is an indirect competitor of Visa and Mastercard. And honestly speaking, Visa and Mastercard, they're very big, net, card network. So, obviously like even RuPay cannot really compete with them. So it was essentially difficult for them, for RuPay to even like get outside India. But then how the network has really dominated the domestic market, because for all the domestic markets now like people are using a RuPay card. And with that, the like firstly, the most important from the security perspective, all the information of the local transactions is within India, it's not outside India. Secondly, the rates of per transaction are also lesser as compared to Visa and Mastercard, so that money is being also is also being made inside India, so which helps with the economy of the country definitely. Payments are more faster, and it's a lot more efficient from local perspective, if I honestly speak. But building something like across the globe is honestly very much difficult, because RuPay and Mastercard are already dominant in the market and they have such a big network. But now thinking from perspective, what if the GCC regions had something very similar? Firstly, this is something which requires a lot of investment. So probably like when I speak from just UAE perspective, the market is very small and probably it's not enough. But if I speak from perspective of GCC, it is really a profitable business model. But this is not something like a startup, a normal somebody, an entrepreneur can come and they can build it, because this is something which requires the local government presence. It's something only which is only possible with the support of all the the families, the royal family, and all the ruling families of the GCC countries, with the support of the local banks, the central bank specifically, if I speak. But in the long term, like imagine if such a network is being built across the GCC. So the firstly like its independence on Visa and Mastercard definitely reduces. When it comes to like international transactions, they can obviously have a partnership with Visa or Mastercard, and for international transactions, because RuPay has also done something very similar for international cards, like the payments are being made by Visa or RuPay, Visa or Mastercard. But within UAE, when it is happening, it can really like help with have more security with your internal payments. And for GCC nationals, or for GCC residents, I think it is a smart move which can really help the economy boost in the long term. But I'm not sure if this is something which is going to happen, because if it's something which can happen in the next 1 decade, or if this is something the government is working on, or if this is because this requires so much more than just a thought, because there are so many compliances about it. There is so much about collaboration between all these countries, and it's politics, it's compliances, it's implementation, it's so much together when we speak about it. But yeah, it was just a random thought, so I thought I'll just share it, because when I came across this, and it was pretty interesting to me to think about it, to think it this way, that what if in the next 10 years like something like this is being implemented by the GCC countries together. And because in the long term, obviously if you're investing a few $1 billion, they're definitely gonna make a lot more in the next 5 to 10 years. So from a business model perspective, it is a great idea. But at the same time, from the national politic perspective, it also reduces their dependence on other like the US based payment rails as well. So yeah, thank you for watching.